Hey guys, so it's Jen Evers with Quality Crafts today, and welcome to Thursday live stream. We're going to be doing a really cool technique today using inks and salt. And I'm going to be using Tim Holtz Distress inks, but if you don't have those, do not worry about it. You can use any kind of inks that you have. So I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to get in here. So we're going to start at 6:05 p.m. If I'm a little bit more subdued than my other videos, it's because I'm on two different a painkiller and a muscle relaxant for. I never had this happen before. I threw my back out this morning. It's really odd. Um, People are saying that they can't get in. Um, you cannot get into a live stream, people, until I press play and we're on go. So if you're having troubles getting in, if you're watching this archived, you can skip all this stuff. But just so you know, if I'm not live, you're not going to be able to see anything. If I haven't clicked on and turned on my live stream, no matter how many times you go to my channel, you will not see a live stream until I've turned it on. Hi, Sherry and Mickey. So I'm hoping that maybe that's the only issue here. Yeah, so we're going to be making some really fun stuff out of salt and inks. So if you don't have Tim Holtz inks, I want to encourage you to pull out any kind of inks that you have. Hi, Janine and Sherry and Mickey. Hello. If you're watching this archived and you're unfamiliar with my videos, I start at 5 minutes after the hour, so 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time every Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time every Sunday afternoon, and then every Wednesday I put out a 5-minute card video where I set a timer and make a card in 5 minutes and put in a bunch of funny humorous quips, and that's super fun too. So I hope you stick around for that or check it out next week, or go back and check out the ones we've done previously, because that series is a long running series, and this week was number 32. Hi, Mimi and Sherry. So in the beginning of my videos, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, thank you for coming. If you're brand new, hearts for you. And I always start at about 5 minutes after the hour because it gives everyone a chance to jump in, and nobody misses the beginning of the presentation. Hey, Raggedy Girl and Debbie and Sandy and Jocelyn. I'm still waiting for one other gal that said she was having problems getting in. Which is why I mentioned in the beginning that you will not be able to see or find the live stream until it's actually live. My only issue is ever remembering to be here. Hi, Maureen. Yeah, I'm not in so much pain right now probably because I'm doped up from all the stuff I'm on. But I had already had the announcement out for this one, and I didn't want to back out on a live stream that I'd already announced because I find that to be really tacky. So I will give you my best, whatever my best is today. But I feel subdued. I'm sure I sound that way. Vicky, yay! Hi, Sharon and Wendy B. Hi, welcome. So today we are doing a really old, tried and true. Cheers, guys! Thanks for joining me today. Tried and true technique using salt and inks. And you'll definitely need some water. Now, if you don't have Tim Holtz inks, and I am not sure, did Penny come in yet? If you don't have Tim Holtz inks, which is what I'm using today, they look like this, the big ones. I do all my own labeling here. They do not come like this. Oh, there's Penny. Hi, Penny. So this is my hair flipping is for you, sweetheart. I know how you love it. I know how you loves me. If you don't have these, grab any kind of inks that you have. It all works, okay? And if you don't have the big chunky salt like I have here, this is just Epsom salt. This works just fine. Then you can just use regular table salt. Now you're not going to get as big of a spread with the table salt as you are with the other one, but it still gives you a neat technique. So don't give up. Everyone can join in and do this. This is one that I made beforehand. I am really, really hoping that this looks clearer than last time. I'll turn on the autofocus and see what happens, because I should be able to, Yeah, see, look at that. When the autofocus is working properly, I can bring things up and show it to you really, really clearly. Now you can see all the little, what do you call it? Salt marks or salt distress marks there, which is super, super, super fun. Here's another one. That's done with the large granules, which I just showed you. And then this one was done with the table salt. See, it's more like an icy kind of a itty bitty teeny tiny crystalline looking thing when you use the smaller ones. So, one more minute, we'll give everyone that time to come in and then we will get started. I am using 110-pound cardstock. However, it is not the cardstock I normally use. So I'm using Recollections today. I mean Coordinations, pardon me. Coordinations. 110 pound. Now it says 110 pound here. But I'm going to tell you right now, people, this is way thicker than the 110 pound Nina White cardstock, which I normally use. And so if you want to use watercolor paper instead, that turns out, you know, fabulous as well. Really super fabulous. I just like to use what I have hanging around. So we're at 6:05. Let's begin. I've got some heavy cardstock here, and we're going to start out right away by bringing in the colors in the water, doing a color wash, and then dropping the salt on, and then I'm going to set them aside to dry. So one that I'm going to do is spiced marmalade, which is a very deep orange. And I'm just going to smoosh this onto my block so you can see all the color that's on there. I've got my rinse wheel next to me that's got water in it. And I'm putting some water on my brush and then just turning this into a watercolor wash, okay? And then all we're going to do is just go back and forth over this paper. And I'm going to go over it once, maybe twice, just to make sure that the whole surface is wet. The wetter it is, the better the salt can just leach that up and show more of that texture. And then you just take your salt and you just sprinkle it on. And you can already tell on some of, set my brush down, on some of those crystals there that they're soaking up the color. They're turning a lot darker. Some of them are still a little white, and that's the way it's going to kind of be. And then we're just going to set this aside to dry. It's not showing up on regular YouTube, you guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do about that. I don't think there's really much I can do about it. If you guys could somehow maybe, if one of the moderators wouldn't mind doing another link. Oh, shoulder itch. Hi, Linda. You know what? I'm in the middle of this and I can't stop. So if there's anything you guys can do, that's great. And if there's just not, it's a technical boo-boo and I apologize. Hopefully it won't stay that way forever. We're going to do the next background wash, and this one's going to be a dark one. It's going to be peacock feathers, which is kind of a turquoise. I really, really like this one. It's so cool. So there we go. And I'm going to rinse my brush and my rinse wheel here. And I'm making sure to, because I know I told you several weeks ago to save your baby wipes. See how this is getting all really pretty with color here? Save them because we're going to be doing a project with them within, I would say probably within the next 2 weeks here. So I use that to just wipe my brush off as well and I get more color on there. And then I'm going to bring some more water into my rinse well here. And then add some water here. And make this into that water wash that we want. So encourage those people that are having trouble getting in to refresh or restart. Sometimes you just got to kick it. Give it a kick. Or whatever works for you. Just making sure that, going over this again, make sure that it's wet and then sprinkle it with salt. And that literally is it. That's all it takes, and then you just let it air dry. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to dry. So of course, by the complete magic of online video, I'm already going to have some dry to pull out here for you. However, I am going to do another one as a background. So see how I've got this baby wipe with the orange on it? I'm going to add the blue to the side here. And I'm going to do one that's squeezed lemon, which is a very, very light color. Actually, squeezed lemon and peeled paint. So first I'm going to do the lemon. It should be a bright yellow if hopefully this... It is a bright yellow, it's just not going to turn up really, really dark because it's a super light yellow as well. It's bright, it's a light bright. How many of you guys had a light bright system growing up? Thought that was the bomb. I did. Unfortunately, my babysitter wasn't watching me and I electrocuted myself on the light bright cord because I couldn't get it out of the wall. And actually, if you watch my mouth closely enough, you can tell that I was affected by that because my mouth, it just kind of dips on one side. Oh, and you know what? I told Penny I was going to go out and grab another thing of baby wipes. Yeah, I completely forgot. So now I'm stuck with just one baby wipe unless you guys give me grace to go out and get my other one. My other package. So I'm just making this really pretty with all these colors, right? Because we're going to be using those another day. And then this one I was hoping to do maybe just kind of like a rainbowy. There we go. No cats. Nope, I didn't hear a cat. Cheers, guys. I would like to do this in more, I know what I want to say. Like a rainbow kind of a wash. So I'm going to take this one and grab a couple of other smaller ones. So we'll have another, like a purple. So we'll have a purple there. Oh yeah, that kind of a blue, and then maybe like an orange or something. That one, those colors look pretty good together. So we're going to try this. And I put a little bit of each one on here. And hopefully we'll have enough to make like a rainbow as we go down here. And I'm going to try really hard not to let this like just smoosh into mud. Okay, so now you can tell that we've got 4 separate colors on here. And if I put it on top of the white paper, that'll even give you a better idea what we're looking at. So put a little bit of water in here. Let's do the orange one first. And then I'm going to sprinkle some on there. And then maybe this blue in the corner here. And I'm trying not to put too much salt on that side where it meets the other one. Just so I can kind of overlap these a little bit. That's really pretty. And then we'll do a little bit of this other blue up here. I'm going to end over on this side with that yellow again. So we've just kind of come full circle. Okay, and so this is going to take some time to dry. I don't know how long, but I figured it was going to be too long to make you guys just sit and wait for it. I can't answer any questions, Linda, regarding the oxide inks because I don't own any of them yet, and I've literally never tried them, but that eventually I'd like to get to do that. So if I get to the point where I can get them here and purchase them, I will. We'll play around with those for sure. So now I'm going to dab up the rest of that color on here. And you can see that I'm getting a lot of really fun colors on there. And then just wipe the rest up. That way there's no waste. We're going to be using these again, and that's going to be really pretty. Now you can do this with regular salt. As I said, I was using Epsom salt, but you can use regular table salt as well. So I'm going to bring in now the ones that I did before. And my little, where did I put my little bowl? Oh no, I removed the bowl, that's right. I decided to do that. So let me pull out my garbage can right in front of me. We're going to go ahead and scrape off all of this salt now. By the magic of television, we've got some that are already dried. I'm just going to bring you in a little bit so you can see that. That's all that salt is on there. So as you peel that salt off, you get that really cool texture there. So not only is this a fabulous background all by itself, but oh no, we will not stop there. We're going to take these and we're going to use some of them as background. We're going to use some of them as embellishments. We're going to do some cutting and punching of that. And then I'm just going to take all this salt right here, and my garbage can is right in front of me. I just really like removing the salt too. I think it's just really fun. So if you're tactile like me, if you really enjoy that, you know, getting your hands dirty with the paper and the inks and all that, this is super fun. So in case any of you guys are wondering, I think we should have Kelly Lee's teaching this class. Well, not just this one, but she is just full of ideas. That girl's been around. She's got amazing, amazing information in her brain. This one is one of my favorites. Look at all the marks on that blue. How cool is that? And we've got one more. This was the spiced marmalade, that orangish color. This is going to look really cool too. It seems like the darker the color, the better the turnout. Oh, Raggedy, you lost the feed again? Yeah, sometimes it just, all it takes is a refresh. Oh, that's cool. Alrighty, let's see if I can do this without bending over too far. Get this back where it belongs. Yeah, yeah. It's so much fun. These are super cool. Now I'm going to bring in some of the colors that I had done previously so that as we go through and start doing our creations with this wonderful background paper, I have all kinds of colors here lined up. I'm going to back you out just a bit so you can see what in the world I'm talking about. There we go. Look at all the different colors we've got. And you can just go crazy with all the colors of inks that you have. One of the things I really like about the Tim Holtz inks is that if you've gotten to this point, and you've decided that, gee, I kind of want to make this the background, but wouldn't it be fun if I could make even more of a, I know what I want to say, make it even more interesting, is that they will still react to water. So I'm going to do some drips of water on here with my paintbrush here on the dark color, because you'll be able to see it on this dark color the best. So let me just bring you in just a slight bit here. All right. And then I'm going to actually dip my brush and put some rather large drops on here because, and a bunch of little ones too, obviously, but the large ones are going to show up the most. You can tell already, I believe, that they're lightening up. And that should be good. And I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. It's almost like a bleaching process. It takes that color or pushes that color out. It's really, really cool. Stamp nuts. Yes, I believe that it will still look cool if you dry it with your heat gun. Although I've not actually tried that because I didn't want the salt to blow all over the place. But if you put it in like a little, one of like my spraying box cubby, you could probably get away with that. Really wish I would have went and got some more baby wipes now that I'm sitting here. Oh, if you guys have not done your Blue Bowl Challenge cards yet, if you're on Quality Crafts, here's my finished Blue Bowl card. You're going to want to do that before the end of the month. So we've got like 2 weeks left. There's my Blue Bowl. She's Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim. I remembered. You guys told me last time. Whoop, whoop. So now we're just going to blot this off. And do you see where what happened there? Where those dots of water went on there? Now we've got an even more interesting background. Penny, go get the baby wipes. Hopefully I won't need them. I just feel like I just can't believe that my brain just went. I'm gonna cut this because obviously we're gonna make a card today. That didn't take any time at all, did it? Aside from the drying time, it really does take no time at all. I'm gonna try to make this into. This is gonna be a 4x4 card, and it's gonna be an easel. So I made it 4x8, and I'm folding it in half, and then the top I'm gonna fold in half again. Alright, and then I already have a 4x4 piece of card here that covers this whole thing, right? So I'm going to put glue on the bottom half. Well, tape. ATG tape, but you can do glue or whatever you have. And then glue that down on there. And then it's going to stand up like an easel card. Okay? So that's what I'm shooting for today. But I want to get this to be like a 4x4, I believe. So let me just cut this into a 4 first. I'm going to go a little bit beyond so I can cut off some of that white if I want. That would work. And cut this side by 4. And then cut this side by 4. Just make sure it's evened out 4x4 to fit on that card. Alright. And so that's going to go on here. Which way are we going? This way. And I'm going to save this little scrap because I might use that on the bottom. Which I probably will. So we'll go ahead and put this down. Deanna, you made it! I hope everything went well with your horsies. Is it still raining over there? I'll line this up the best I can. So cool. I'm just going to bend the edges a tiny bit because I want it to be kind of straight. Very neat. That's going to be the start of our easel card then. And then this one could go across the bottom here. It's a little bit too wide. It's going to be, I want it to be 4, right? Because we did a 4x4 inch thing here. So I'm going to take a little bit off this side, and then I'm going to flip it around and take a little bit off the other side so that it's 4 inches. You might be able to reuse the salt. Not sure why you would want to unless you're really, really low on your supply of salt. But yeah, I don't see why not. It probably would still soak some more of it up, wouldn't it? Okay, and that's going to kind of serve as our stop. It almost looks like cheese, doesn't it? It reminds me of cheese heads. I live in Wisconsin. Cheese heads. So now we can take some of these other really fun colors and put something on here. Now, I did talk about doing flowers, which I've already done on this one. I did this one ahead of time, so you can see that I used the pink paper, the blue paper, and the green paper. All was done with that technique, as well as the background paper, although the background paper was done with regular salt. So it's very, very subtle, but it is there. Cheers, I have a really dry mouth from the stuff that I'm taking. Just so you guys know. I would like to do this one in kind of a butterfly motif. Whoop. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my butterfly and punch out a couple of different colored butterflies from this. And the fun thing is that you don't have to do a lot to add to these because they're already automatically going to have that texture from the salt that we put in the back. So they're going to look cool no matter what. Oh yeah, for sure we want one of these. This is a really pretty color. I think this is peacock feathers. And then with the green here, I think this would be really fun to put some grass along the bottom. I think I'm going to back you out just a tad so you can see all that I'm doing here. So I super want to thank you guys all for coming out, especially all of my closest, dearest friends. Oh, okay. Enough goofing around. No, it's never enough. I'm just sticking my finger into these, increasing these so that the butterfly wings stand up, okay, on either side of the body, so that gives me a place to glue them on. And then we're going to do some of this grass, but let me go ahead and cut a little bit of it, trim a little bit down here. And if you don't have the fancy scissors I'm about to pull out, you can just use your regular scissors. Oh no, does somebody have to leave already so soon? And of course it's 4 inches across, so I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to 4. Ginger made it! Whoop whoop! Ginger's in the house. And Jennifer's in the house. And Satomi's in the house. And Kimberly's in the house. And the Cranky Crafter's in the house. And Penny J is in the house. And Satomi's in the house. Okay, that's enough of that BS, huh? Oh, don't quit your daytime job, Jen. Don't quit your daytime job. Okay, fancy scissor time. If you don't have these fancy scissors, do not worry. Never fear. Look at that. I'm gonna cut some grass here. Da 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 da. If you just have a regular scissors, then just go to town and just clip, 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 clip. But that makes it look kind of like cool grass. And then I'm gonna trim some off because I don't want it to all be the same height. So it's just getting a really, really bad mow job. And then I'm gonna push them from the top and crinkle them up. Ta-da! Then we gotta get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. I still haven't got some on there too. And then the grass is going to go along the bottom here. So when you stand it up, it actually looks like it's going about. I'm going to do wet glue on here so it doesn't fall off. I have a feeling that by the time we're done with this, all the ones that I did today will be dry. So you'll probably see these popping in another 5-minute card video. What you think about that? How about that? In the words of that crazy young teenager, how about that? So trying to get it all marked up here. I'm bending the grass a little bit more. You know, aesthetics. However I like to look at. Want it to look. Same with you guys. However you want it to look. So now I've got some grass there. We're going to put the butterflies in the air, of course. I'm just giving this a bendy bop here. Alrighty, do we want some bling on here? Of course we want some bling. You know why I'm going to do black bling? Because I think that'll make them stand out even more. So let's prop this down so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. And this is where I'm going to, you know what? I don't like that green butterfly just simply because it's the same as the other green. So I'm going to do a yellow, bright yellow butterfly instead. Okay, and if you missed it, all I did was put my fingernail on the side of his body there and just push those two up. So the glue will go on the bottom here and then the butterfly will kind of stay up. So the Quality Crafts website is up, qualitycrafts.com. Not only can you find, definitely find the products, some of the products that I use often on here, but you'll also find links to things that I love from Amazon. And today I spent most of my time laying in bed and laying on a hard table in the clinic waiting to see somebody. So I literally did not have any time to like get everything super prepared for today. Otherwise I'd be like, oh, you could probably get that and then, you know, because like it takes mental brain power and I just don't have the mental brain power today because blah. Thanks, Jocelyn. These are just like plain old tealy green. I forget what color it is. Let's look. Wet and Wild Wild Shine. Color what? Ooh, Caribbean Frost. Or if you like to say Caribbean. Yeah. And then we're going to use our pokey tool to add some little 2 gemmed bodies. Ooh. I got the dropsies. Oh, we're just going to get rid of them too because I can't get it off of there. Okay, and then put those on here. And I think 2 is plenty. I'm not going to squeeze them in and try to get 3. 2 is good. 2's good, 3's company. Who's watched that show in the past? Whoop, 3's company. I bet you guys that have seen it are singing that song in your brain right now. I'm not going to sing it though. I promise. I'll spare ya. Oh, and you know what? We're going to make little butterfly paths. I think that would be really cute. With the black marker. Skinny black marker. Where's that? Sharpie. There, we got little zippy doodahs. That's where they came from. Flip, 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 flip. And I need something on the bottom to hold that up. So how about some pink gems? I got pink and blue. I think the pink ones are going to go best. What do you mean old? We're not old. So I'm going to put a couple of these on here. One on each side. And then hopefully that'll be enough to hold them up. And I think maybe we could probably get away with a couple more, don't you think? Two on each side. I think that'd be cool. Ta-da! So across the bottom then we need kind of a sentiment. And now that I've got all the salt off there, it looks bumpy, but it's actually really quite smooth. So you can even stamp on there. So let's do... Oh, I really like that hello, but I don't know if it'll fit. Let's try it. Might be a tad too big. Put some feelers on with the marker too. Oh yeah, I can do that too. I heard ya. I'll do the feelers next, okay? And this hello is just gonna barely fit, so I'm gonna definitely go for it. Oh man. Cheers! And they need little antennae. Nope. I like the idea of the antennae. How cute! Good call, good call. Who was that? I'm just gonna pause to say that my back is hurting. Some of this hello might be a little bit hidden, but I'll do the best I can to get it on here. Not too bad. A little bit. It's missing a little bit though. You know what though? Just in case, let's say you guys don't have any kind of a stamp positioning tool or anything like that, and now you feel stuck. Or maybe you're a newbie and you're like, oh, how am I going to fix that? What if I can't, like, I don't trust myself to restamp this over the top of it. Pardon me, because it's just, I might miss and it might make a double impression and I've already got this together and I don't want to ruin it. So this would be now a good time to take one antenna, two antennae. Antennae? I don't know. Now would be a good time to just take one of your regular black markers and just color this in. So it looks like you did a perfect stamp job, even if you didn't. Scared me for a minute. I was just doing this and the neighbor slammed his door downstairs. Scared me. Scared me for a second there. I probably won't do all the lines here, but definitely these big thick ones just to make them look more filled in. So that's a fun little trick you can use if you just didn't, if it didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted it to in a stamp. And that would stand up like that. You've got a cute little hello card. So let's look at a couple of other things that we could possibly do with this background paper. Another idea I have is if you did the one that's got a whole bunch of different colors in it, let's say you modeled it. Instead of striping it the way I did, let's say you modeled it by just doing little bits and colors all over the place. Kind of like this one, but look, this one's almost dry. I'm gonna scrape that one off. Oh yeah, some's still a little wet. Not too bad though. So it doesn't take too long to dry, but let's say you did a whole bunch of different colors. Then what you could do is you take one of your stamps like I'm thinking this one right here would be really pretty. Both of these would actually, but this one especially. Get some more use out of your stamps by stamping over the top of this. And I'm going to get a two-tone flower. And then if I move it over, I'll get another two-tone flower. Okay. So that's totally why I wanted the other baby white, because I don't want to save the one that I use for just black. Although I should be using my Lawn Fawn cleaner, and I don't know why I just grabbed my baby wipes because they're handy, but eventually I will pull that out. And we'll use that one too. So now we've got some that are already, they're basically already decorated for you. All you have to do is just cut them out and use them. So see what I mean? Like you could get 2-toned, 3-tone, 4 tones, whatever, however many kind of colors that you want on here by making this background paper, and then it turns out so easy. This is a really good technique for those of you who say that you aren't good at coloring. It's basically that you're not practiced at it, not that you're not good at it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut these while you guys discuss the weather. Thank you so much, Satomi. That is really, really sweet of you. She was saying, for those of you guys watching Archive, that she believes that we have the best mods and community on Facebook and the crafty family in our chat, that she really enjoys watching these. And that she feels that we're very blessed to have that here. Another way to make these look really finished at the end is to take a black marker and color the ends of the paper so it looks like that stamp color went all the way to the edge and you don't have a funky little white edge showing up. And I'll show you what I mean in just a moment when I finish cutting this one. Okay, so that same brush tip that I was using before, in case you're wondering what this one is, this is a Pitt Artist Pen. Black. There's the number 199 by Faber-Castell. And it's got a little brush tip on the end of it. Yep, when I'm done with this, I will definitely show that stamp set that I'm using. I'm pretty sure I got it off of a bargain sale online at one of the online crafty places. By the way, if you guys want to sell stuff online, you're definitely going to want to check out the site that I think it's called the Crafty Corner that Kathy Dennehy runs, because you can sell over there. I prefer that you don't sell on my site only because, I mean my group, because I'm already selling there. So the set I'm using is this one by Recollections. It's called Flowers to You. Looks like this. Clear stamps, flowers for you. I'm sorry, flowers for you. Where did I get the 2 from? But super cute, real simple. And yeah, I don't have sea salt, so I used Epsom salt because that's what I have. And you can also use regular salt. So this is the salt that I use. That's the real heavy granular one. And then you can also use regular table salt. I am making such a huge mess here right now. I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna cut this last one here. And we'll put together another quick card, and then that will be done. Oh, siren going off here. I'm not sure why. To get Jen some sea salt. I think this works. I think this works just fine, don't you? You're so funny. Oh, and I can hear dog bark too. Man, like seriously? Oh, you know what? The clinic that I was at today was doing a mandatory tornado drill, and there I am laying on that stupid hard thing, that bed thing in the clinic, in agony. And she's like, "Well, if this is just a drill, but if this was a real one, we'd be asking you to go down to the basement right now." And then she proceeds to say that if you chose not to go in the basement, that they would let you leave. I think that if there was a tornado going on, no matter how much pain I was in, I'd be trekking down to that basement. I wouldn't be walking out the front door, that's for sure. But you know, there are people. Takes all kinds in this world. So those turned out pretty darn cute. Let me lift them up so you can get a better look at them. Cute, cute. And I'm gonna put some little, what do you call them, in there too. Let's see if, oh, this would totally match both of these. Fit right on there, right in the middle. Oh, super cute. Yeah, I'm going to pull out some more of that little paper, and we're going to make a little card out of that. Probably one a little bit smaller even. What a pigsty. What a pigsty for me to clean up later. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, so we could do this whole thing. Yeah, we could do that. Where's my trimmer? Dude, guys, can you guys hear that horn? Like, that's like totally killing me. That like noise just needs to stop, like yesterday. I don't even know what it is. Oh, look, this looks like a big F. Oh, Oh my gosh, this is going to look so cute on there. Look at that. Where's some of that paper that I have? That is so cool. Let's see if we can't get a piece of this behind it. Do we have one that's really dark? Yeah, like this one. Not quite tall enough. We could cut it down a little bit though. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. Is the autofocus making you guys nuts? Yes, some of the cards are too lumpy for mail. I'm actually going to be starting to sell my cards, but oh, I just dropped all my inks. Oh boy, oh boy. I have a large hoard of cards at my house. I used to sell them at work, and then I stopped doing that. And I think I'm going to start selling them again, but mostly I hoard them and give them away to people as I think of it. My gosh, can you hear that wailing? That siren wailing? Holy Hannah. This is going to be kind of like a bookmark, but not really a bookmark. More like a tag. Those are so cute on there. I want to attach it to something heavier. Probably just cut a piece of this down for us to use. And you know what? All that stuff is already dry, so it really doesn't take too long for that stuff to dry. So I'm making it a tag, but I'm making it a little bit larger. That's all I'm doing. My hubby is cleaning because we've got family coming this weekend. I think my sister decided not to come because with me not feeling well, I'm not going to be able to go to the trampoline park or the skate park or any of the fun stuff that they wanted to do while they were here. I'm a little bit bummed by that. I'm looking for black paper because I'm out of the scrappy doos that are big enough to put this on. No, it does not feel good to bend over and pick stuff up. Not at all. I think we're going to just have enough time to finish up this card. I just wanted a small black outline for this. I thought it would make it really, really pop. Yeah, my honey's running the I'm not going to complain. I really am not. Because if he wasn't vacuuming, then I'd have to be out there vacuuming. So I better just hush it. I apologize if you can hear it and it's super loud. Look at that. Yeah, that's cool. My gosh, Chuck Rooney, really? Raggedy girl, you're so funny. Well, then that was just 6:45. Maybe that's what it was, Donna. They did a mandatory tornado drill at the clinic today, as I mentioned, and then they also were doing one at the school today, I believe, too. My hubby is the sweetest. My hubby, he's so fine. He's so fine. He blows my mind. My hubby. My hubby. I am a little biased, though. I may be a little biased in that. And then all I'm doing is just twirling these, so kind of the same, maybe so that like the same color isn't at the same spot. Anyway, that is so pretty. I want to put like maybe a little something over the top of it, but oh my gosh, look at that. It's so cool. So these colors on here would have been, let me see if I can find the right ones so that I can let you know what they were. I think that was wild honey. And then the other one, oh, here they are. Oh, it wasn't. It was seedless preserves, spiced marmalade, and salty ocean. And one other blue one. So it must have been peacock feathers too. These 4 little ones. Peacock feathers, salty ocean, spiced marmalade, and seedless preserves. So yeah, your own handmade background paper, but then at the same time you've got embellishments that you can pull out of there and create. Well, butterflies, and let's bring them back in and do a little rewind here. So that one, we used a whole bunch of that paper to create something really fun. Oh, Lordy. Oh, I gotta get over the dropsies. Yeah, I think it's about time that Jen just took her behind and went relax somewhere. These, look at all the bright and fun colors we got from that. You can use any inks, as I said. Don't feel like if you don't have Tim Holtz inks that you can't use that. You can totally use it. You can totally use table salt, Epsom salt, rock salt, anything that's got, that granulated stuff. Put a wash down on your paper, sprinkle it on. You end up with something that looks like this. And then as soon as it's dry, which this is, you just go ahead and, I'm not going to put it in there. Just go ahead and squish all that off of there. I like to do it with my hand because I love that texture and that feeling. It's so cool. And then there you have it, is your paper. And you can do with it as you please. You can pop that on as a whole card background. You could cut out pieces of it like we did and create little embellishments for your cards and stuff. And then you know what? The non-crafters in your life are going to look at that and go, did you buy that paper like that? How'd you get that like that? And you could say, oh, ancient family secret. I need a pair of those grippers for your craft room. So super fun. I'm really glad that you guys joined me today. Don't forget to go over to the Facebook group where we've got fun going on all the time. And there's no participation police. Everyone is welcome. There's no drama and no commitment. You just come on in, join when you want. Don't join when you don't have time or you're not feeling the best. And I think that if you left the salt on for texture, it would fall off your project all over everything. Unless somehow you put something over the top to make it stay, like maybe a Mod Podge or a glue or something, that would be really pretty. But like right now, even as this is drying, all I have to do is tilt it and all this salt is just falling right off. So just beware if you do try to do that, you're gonna have to have a sealant. Another thing too, my race to get to 50 patrons is still going on. So if you like what I do and you want this to go on forever and ever, and you truly love the passion I have for teaching any and all artists from beginner all the way to advanced, join us over at Patreon and make a pledge today. We so appreciate that. And as always, I cannot wait to see you guys next video.